Congratulations to the Lions on their victory over the Atlanta Falcons. Cincinnati has won its game in Pittsburgh, and that evens the National League Championship Series. And here's the winner, Ray Lane.
Hey, thank you, Ernie, and hello, everybody. Right now, let's check out the lineup for the Detroit Tigers. Off and playing shortstop, Dick McCullough. McCullough at shortstop. Batting second and playing right field, Al Kaline. Hitting third and catching Duke Sims. Batting fourth and stationed at first base, Norm Cash. The fifth batter and left fielder, Willie Horton. Batting sixth and playing center field, Jim Northrup. The seventh batter and second baseman, Tony Taylor. Batting eighth and playing third base, Aurelio Rodriguez. And batting ninth, making the pitching start for the Tigers, left-hander Woody Fryman. Right now, the Tigers being introduced once again as announcements are made running from the dugout out to the first baseline. Manager Billy Martin, his coaching staff, and the starting lineup, and now the additional Tiger players. And Fryman continuing to loosen up to the Tiger bullpen. Now let's check the lineup for the Oakland Athletics. Leading off and playing shortstop, Bert Campaneris. Hitting second and playing right field, Matty Alou. Batting third, playing left field, Joe Rudy. The fourth batter and center fielder, Reggie Jackson. Batting fifth and stationed at third base, Sal Bando. Batting sixth and playing first base, Mike Epstein. The seventh hitter, the catcher, Gene Kennett. Batting eighth at second base, Dick Green. And batting ninth, making the pitching start for Oakland, right-hander Blue Moon Odom. Odom, likewise, Fryman, throwing in the A's bullpen at the present time. Tigers still being introduced to the team. And as Ernie tells you, a blow defensively to the Tigers today with Eddie Brinkman not starting in the lineup. And, of course, the first game that Eddie has not started during the 72 season. While the introductions take place, let's listen to this commercial word.
Hello there. This is Paul Winter. When I was a kid, all of my contemporaries wanted...
The Oakland Athletics being introduced right now. And manager Dick Williams and his coaching staff now the starting lineup. And so it'll be a few more minutes before the A's and Tigers get together for game number 2. Before the umpires make their way out. I had partly cloudy skies for the most of this morning, and then around noon, mostly overcast skies, but blue breaking through in certain areas around the Oakland area. But this ball game will be started with the lights on here. And for the Tigers, it's either a victory today and coming back to Tiger Stadium for the third game on Thursday with a 1-1 record, and if not, it would be 2 losses coming back to Tiger Stadium. It would certainly be the Bengals having their backs against the wall. Principal characters in the starting assignments today. Odom, Blue Moon Odom, who finished the regular season 15-6. And this will be his third outing against the Tigers this year. 1 no decision and 1 victory. For Woody Fryman, his second start against the Athletics. Fryman losing to Catfish Hunter at Tiger Stadium in August. And so this is only the second start for the former National Leaguer against the Oakland A's. Pause for station identification. This is the Detroit Tiger Baseball Network.
WJR Detroit.
Number 22, Joe Holland.
It's our pleasure to have in our broadcast booth before the start of game number 2 today, the Honorable Mayor of Detroit and Mrs. Roman Gribbs. Mayor Gribbs, the first game a little bit tough to take if you're a Detroit fan.
Oh, indeed.
broke our hearts. After Kaline got that home run, we thought, 3 more outs, and that was it, and bingo. As I remember, I think you had some kind of a little wager here with the Oakland there, didn't you? Well, yes. He invited me to come down, and I re-invited him to Detroit. In fact, I told him that I'd use my influence to get him some tickets and hotel space for the World Series. And that offer still goes. Well, I'd say the way you're talking right now, you are still very confident about the Tigers. Oh, sure. They almost had it yesterday, and they're going to do it today. We've got 4 more games to go. The Tigers are a come from behind team, and that's what they've been doing all year. I think you felt like we did in the broadcast booth that when Kaline hit the home run, it looked as if maybe we were in. Yeah, that was a great hit, too, and 3 outs away from it. Son of a gun. But that's what makes baseball exciting. What do you look for today? A win by about 4-1. How's that? That's good enough, and I hope it comes true. I do, too. Mr. Gibbs, I want to check with you. I know you've been at Tiger Stadium so many times watching the Tigers during the regular season. I take it you're a devout baseball fan.
I am, and I'll tell you an interesting contrast here is the people in Oakland don't know how to root a team on. They're going to learn when they come to Detroit. There's so much more enthusiasm at Tiger Stadium than there is here for the home team.
I hope that you and the mayor will be rooting the Tigers home to a victory this afternoon.
Well, I hope so, and I'm counting on it.
Thank you so much for stopping by. We'll see you back at Tiger Stadium. Okay. Right now, the color guard has marched from the center field area out into shallow center field with Old Glory and the State of California flag. And now the Royalettes and Royalaires Drum and Bugle Corps, a 90-person Drum and Bugle Corps presenting our national anthem. Championship Series. And it will be interesting to see how the Tigers bounce back. Once again, we see the president of the American League, Joe Cronin, seated directly behind the athletics dugout on the third base side. Yesterday's ball game certainly played over and over and over again by, I would say, all the Tigers, especially last evening at various dinners around Oakland that many attended. And even heated discussions and a few arguments saying what should have been done or what could have been done. For the hindsight, I guess, but the 8th inning, you figure the Tigers had a runner in scoring position, nobody out. And in the 9th inning, could not bring go-ahead run in. And then I put runners at first and third with nobody out. And then when Kaline hit the home run to go out in front of the 11th inning, and ironically, Kaline throw to third base, and somehow, and still right now, people wonder how it really did get by. There's several versions, getting past Rodriguez and allowing the winning run to cross the plate. So that was yesterday. Billy Martin hoping that things will turn around now for the Tigers. at the expense of Blue Moon Odom. As Ernie told you, and we'll say it once again, one of the outstanding defensive players for the Tigers, Eddie Brinkman, not in the starting lineup today. Remember yesterday when Eddie rounded first base and went into second with a double, had trouble running. That time we thought he had twisted his ankle, but he has been plagued, according to Eddie Brinkman, with some sciatic nerve problems, numbness in the left foot. And Eddie will be undergoing examination when he arrives back in Detroit. And as a result, he did not feel that he could contribute his very best today. And Billy Martin, who talked with Eddie, decided that he would not go with Brinkman in the starting assignment. And so defensively, the Tigers will be going with Dick McAuliffe at short and Tony Taylor at second base. And so a little extra pressure added on to Dick McAuliffe. Mack continues to serve as the Tigers' leadoff man in the batting department this afternoon. Our umpire is working game number 2 behind the plate, Nestor Shylock. The umpire at first base, Johnny Rice. Working at second base, Art Franz. And the umpire at third base, Larry Barnett. Working the foul lines in left field, Don Tenkinger. And the umpire down the right field line, John Flaherty. So it's a big one for the Tigers to come home for game number 3, hopefully with a 1-1 record here at the Coliseum. And if not, boy, their backs would be against the wall. Blue Moon Odom, a right-hander. All set to work to Dick McAuliffe, and all set to go to work at the microphone again. Here's Ernie Harwell.
Thank you, Ray. Here we go. The right-hander delivers. We're underway. A tapper hit down towards second base. Green charges, gloves it, flipped to first. He got him 1-6 and one away. McAuliffe bounces out. Dick Green to Mike Epstein. That will bring to bat the Tiger outfielder Kaline, who was the hero in the first half of the 11th inning yesterday, and then turned goat in the second half. Al said after the ball game that he understands that, and he's ready to accept it, that that's the way baseball fates turn. The lights are on here. It's an overcast afternoon in Oakland, California. Odom right-hands one of the plate. It's a high curve to Kaline. His home run in the 11th inning is only hit in 5 turns at bat in game number 1 of the American League Championship Series. Here's the windup now by Blue Moon. He deals. It's a ball outside. It's 2-0. The scoreboard here posts averages after the batter's name, but they are figuring the average based on the regular season plus what he does in the championship series. However, the averages are over now. They really shouldn't be figured that way. Here's a foul back for the screen. In other words, if Kaline finished the year batting .313, that's it for 1972. And this championship series is figured separately. Here's the pitch on the way. He swings a ground ball to short. Campaneris has the hop. Throw to first. Got him. 2 down. Duke Sims ready to step in now. The Duke had a double and a triple his last 2 times at bat in the opening game of the playoff series. Ended up with 2 for 5. Team tied for the pennant. If Boston and Detroit, for instance, had tied in the championship season, then the averages in their playoff would go into the full season averages. Here's the let-up pitch from Odom outside, ball 1. Blue Moon out with an injury last year, did not make the playoff series. He had a ball chipped in his elbow and had an operation. It's a strike call. Odom got his fastball over. Been a very tough pitcher toward the end of this season. Odom has won 5 of his last 7 games in the regular campaign. It's a ball outside, 2-1 on Duke Sim. 2 out, nobody on. We're just underway. Game number 2 of the playoff series. Norman Cash waiting on deck. Here's a foul back this way into the upper deck. And a gentleman from San Jose will take that one home with him. Woody Fryman's the Tiger pitcher this afternoon. Tried to get the Tigers even. Cincinnati got even with Pittsburgh, winning their ball game in Pittsburgh. Now Odom into action. Kicks and deals. Here's a pitch in too close. He curved him. A full count on the Duke. Seven-year-old right-hander Odom delivers. Fastball hit in the air to center field. Jackson is there deep, waiting, makes the catch, side retired. Tigers are down 1-2-3, and at the end of a half inning, it's Detroit nothing. Oakland coming to bat. Well, Mr. Woody Fryman, who's pulled the Tigers through some rough spots since he came over from the Philadelphia Phillies on the 2nd of August, gets ready to go to work now. Campaneris, Alou, and Rudy will be the first 3 men to face him. Woody lost his only start against Oakland, also his only appearance. Jim Hunter beat him 5-1 in Detroit on the 21st of August. And that was his first loss as a Tiger after he'd won his first 3 times out.
Gentlemen, welcome to game number 2.
Cincinnati beat Pittsburgh 5-3 today. In Pittsburgh, Cincinnati had 5 runs, 8 hits, and 1 error. The Pirates had 3 runs, 7 hits, and 1 error. Cincy got 4 in the first inning. Dillingham was the starter. Hall in the 5th inning. Moose started for Pittsburgh. Johnson, Keeson, Hernandez, and Justy all saw service on the mound for the Bucks. And Morgan hit a Cincinnati home run in the 8th with nobody on. Here's Campaneris now to face Woody Fryman. And it's a ball high, an inside fastball on Campy Campaneris. Campy without a hit yesterday, but he had a walk and scored their first run. It's a pitch that is right at the hip, and the count is 2-0. The tobacco farmer from Ewing, Kentucky, Woody Fryman, on the mound with the Tigers. Here's a pitch in close, ball 3. Woody will tell you that the first inning is always a crucial inning for him. He likes to get by those first 3 or 4. Sometimes he has a little trouble settling down very early. Now the left-hander ready to work again. 3-0 on Campaneris. The pitch is a strike call. Tigers 1 out, 1-2-3. Matty Alou waiting on deck for the Oakland team. Won the division clinching game in his last time out, 3-1 over Boston. There's a strike call, full count. They beat Louis Tiant back of Detroit, going 7 2/3 innings. Gave up 1 run. It was not earned. Now the left-handed deals. 3-2 pitch, swung on, base hit to the field. Campaneris lines a single through the box. And he's on first with Matty Alou coming to bat. Well, Matty and Fryman have had some duels in their National League days. Alou had 1 hit yesterday. 1 for 5. Campaneris, the league's leading base stealer, on with a leadoff single. No action for the Tigers in Oakland tomorrow. They resume the series in Detroit. Game time will be 12:30 in Detroit on Tuesday. 67 degrees they've given us the thermometer reading. There's a pitch for a strike. Throw to second. He is taken second base. Stolen base for Campaneris. Leading the throw from Sims to Tony Taylor. Campy with great speed, and he's got a tremendous ability to get a lead on a pitcher, even against the left-hander. Throw to Taylor was not too bad a throw. It was just late. It was a little bit to the shortstop side of second base, but that was immaterial. So Campaneris on at second. Matty Alou, the batter. Strike one to count on Matty. And Fryman bluffs the throw to second. Now Woody to the set delivers. Here's a ball outside on Matty Alou, and the count even 1-1. Team will work out in Detroit tomorrow at 11 o'clock. The A's will work out, and at 1 o'clock, the Tigers will work out. Now Fryman to the set position. Delivers 1-1, and Alou takes a strike on the outside corner. And Joe Coleman will be the pitchers in the Tuesday afternoon game at Tiger Stadium. Now the set by Woody. No score first inning. There's a bluff to second. Tony Taylor ducking behind the runner Campaneris, who slid in. No throw from the pitcher Fryman. Pittsburgh game, Cincinnati won it 5-3. The one who was hauled in relief, he came into the fifth inning, and Moose took the loss. Fly ball to left. Woody Horton there on the short fly makes the catch, and Campaneris has to go back to second. Alou hitting the ball into short left field. Woody playing him perfectly. Picks it off, and Joe Rudy will be the batter. Top hitter on this Oakland ball club, Joe Rudy. 4 plus a sacrifice in the first game of the series yesterday. Rudy says a lot of people think he's Italian, but his father is from Norway. No score first inning. The Tigers went out 1-2-3 against Blue Moon Odom. Now Fryman pitching with Campaneris at second base. One man out, and Rudy, who is a classic example of the closed stance, if there ever was one, up there against Woody Fryman. It was Charlie Lau who changed the batting style of Joe Rudy completely. There's a bluff by Fryman, and back to second with a slide goes Campaneris. No throw from Woody. In the outfield today, the Tigers have Horton in left, Northrop in center, Kaline in right. Eddie Brinkman missing action for the first time this year. There's a throw to Taylor, and Campaneris back. Campy getting up, dusting himself off. Trying to get through the overcast here in California. The pitch is swung on and beaten foul down toward the Tiger bullpen. Strike one the count on Rudy. No score, first inning, second game of the playoff series. Here's another foul. This one lifted out of play into the upper deck and then down below. Quite a few of the Oakland Athletics have very fancy mustaches. Rudy has one, and I think the fanciest probably belongs to Mike Epstein. Although Mr. Williams does a pretty good job as a mustache competitor with his players. Rudy in that closed stance of his, waiting on a strike two delivery from Woody Fryman. Set by Woody, the left-hander deals. It's a ball outside. Watching Rudy in his batting stance, you would feel that outside pitch might be his vulnerability. But he seems to be able to move into it on that stance. And he'll go with the pitch and hit the right. 1-2 the count on Joe. Man on second, Campaneris, pretty good sized lead. If Fryman sets and kicks and deals, it's a wide one. Same spot, 2-2. That's the count on him now. So the Cincinnati-Pittsburgh series is even. Pittsburgh won yesterday. The Reds won it today. And right now, the Oakland Athletics lead in the American League Championship Series, 1-0. We're in the first inning of the second one. No score, man at second, Campaneris, and one away for Oakland with Rudy waiting on a 2-2 delivery from the Tiger left-hander Woody Fryman. And here's the set. The pitch, Campaneris goes. It's a ball throw to third. He steals third. He made that one even easier than he stole second. He got a larger jump on the pitcher, and it was easier for Campy to get to third and beat the throw from Sims. The pitch was in close on Rudy to make the count on him 3-2. Now the Tigers are going to pull their infield in almost to the inner grass. Rudy steps away from the batter's box for a moment. No score, first inning. The A's are the threat. They've got a man at third and one away. Fryman trying to work against Joe Rudy now. The set and the pitch. He swings a bounding ball to left for a hit. Campaneris scores. Oakland leads 1-0. Rudy makes the big turn and holds an RBI single. And the A's have the lead 1-0 over the Tigers. The steal of second and a third sets up the scoring chance, and Rudy capitalizes on it with a single to left, getting home Campaneris from third base. Here's Reggie Jackson, the left-hand batting outfielder, who had 2 for 5, singles his first 2 times up in the game yesterday. Arizona State product. Infield and double play depth on Reggie. He stands deep in the batter's box. Woody Fryman kicks and delivers. Here's a cut of the miss. He missed it a mile. Strike one on Jackson. 1-0. The A's take the lead. Yesterday, the Tigers scored first, getting a home run from Cash in the second. Swing and a miss on a breaking ball, strike 2. Cash holding on the bag with the runner Rudy. Now Fryman delivers, and there's a tight pitch at the shoulder. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Fryman looking in now to get his sign. It's Jackson waits. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Swing. There's a high foul. It'll be back of the plate and drifting toward the seats and out of play. Let's pause for station identification. This is the Detroit Tiger Baseball Network.
This is Double.
Jackson the batter, Woody Fryman going to work on him again now. The 1-2 pitch. He struck him out. Flung and missed on an outside curve. First strikeout for Woody. One out, one on, and two down, and Sal Bando, the Ohio product, ready to step in. 1-0, Oakland in the lead in the first inning. Bando yesterday had 2 hits and 4 trips plus a sacrifice. Stands deep and spreads out, chokes the bat slightly. I don't think he's choking quite as much as he did during the regular season. 1-0. The Oakland Athletics lead the Detroit Tigers. First inning. There's a high foul out of play, first base side, in the seat. Strike one on Bando. We'll give you the Cincinnati-Pittsburgh totals again. Cincinnati 5 runs, 8 hits, 1 error. The Pirates 3-7-1. Hall in relief for Winter. He relieved Billingham in the 5th inning. Moose, the starter for the Pirates, the loser, relieved by Johnson, Keeson, Hernandez, and Justy. Morgan hit a home run in the 8th with nobody on for the Reds. Here's the strike called on Bando. Strike 2 now on Sal. Well, the Reds bluffed that one open the first inning with 4 and hung on to win it 5-3. They will play tomorrow. They do not have an off day in the National League Championship Series. Now the strike 2 pitch is on the way. He fouls it over toward the Tiger dugout. And a gentleman right back of the Tiger dugout caught that one. I believe that's Billy Martin's brother. That's who it is. The fellow that meets the bus when we come into the airport. Now Bando is going back to the dugout. Broke his bat on that one. I guess he hit it down on the handle. Oakland has scored here on a single by Campaneris. He stole second and third and came home on a one-out single by Joe Rudy. Rudy now at first base with 2 down, 1-0 Oakland leads in the first. Woody Fryman had the lowest third run mark on the Tiger pitching staff among the starters, 2.05. Now ready to face Bando, who's waving a new stick at him. Strike 2 pitch coming up from Woody. And Sal cuts and fouls it on the screen. In the Tiger clubhouse before the game, Woody tried to ease his pregame nerves a little bit while watching the Lions on television, along with several others of the Tigers. Set the pitch. He swings and beats the ground ball toward third, foul down past Coach Nolan. Leading the Tigers 1-0 in the first. And the old tobacco farmer ready to go to work now. That it is. Here's a ball outside. He missed the far corner of the fastball. Latest we have on the ticket situation from Detroit, there are no box seats left for the Tuesday and Wednesday games. There are reserve and general admission seats left for those 2 games. And all of the big seats for those 2 remain unsold, but they will be put on sale when the supply of the other seats is exhausted. Strike called. He struck him out. Bando called out on strike, and the side retired. 1 run, 2 hits, no errors, 1 One man left at the end of one. It is Oakland 1, Detroit 0. Tigers batting in the second. They trail the Oakland team 1-0. John Blue Moon Odom, a native of Macon, Georgia, on the mound. He first joined the A's back in 1964, coming up his first year after he started with Birmingham. Then went back to the minors for quite a while and did not return until 68. And in 68 and 69, he made the All-Star team, but then suffered a bone chip and had to have surgery. Now he's back at him and has moved into regular rotation in Dick Williams' pitching staff. Norman Cash will be the first man to face him in the Tigers' second. And the right-hander delivers, and Norman takes a high, hard one at the shoulder. Ball one. Cash hit a home run his first time up in the game yesterday. Also had a walk at a sacrifice, so he ended up with 1 for 3. Winds and delivers. Here's a fastball high and outside. 2-0, the count on Storm and Norman. Left-hand batter played deep and around the right by the outfielders. He swings the bounding ball wide at first. Epstein gloves it. Odom covers, takes the throw for the out. 1 up and 1 down. Cash is out first, the pitcher covering. That will bring to bat Willie Horton. Willie yesterday batted 3 times before Gates Brown came into bat for him. And he went 0 for 3. Flied it up, popped the third, and struck out. 1-0 the score. Oakland in the lead over the Tigers. They scored in the first inning on a single by Campaneris, 2 steals, and a single by Rudy. Nice to have Mr. Bill Brown with us. We're the public relations director of the Detroit Tigers. Here's Willie Horton digging in now. 1-0 Oakland in the lead. They wind up by Blue Moon Odom. He kicks high and delivers a ball outside ball 1. Who likes to take his time about getting out of the batter's box and then getting back in, resets himself. There's a ball outside, 2-0. Shines out now in Oakland. Odom peering in to get his sign from his catcher, Tennis. And Willie's ready to await on the 2-0 delivery from Blue Moon. Here's the right-hander's kick and deal. Swinging the bounding ball to short. Campaneris charges, gloves it, throw to first. He got him. And there are 2 outs. The first 5 Tiger batters have gone down in order. Here's the Fox, Jim Northrup, stepping up. Jim had a single and 4 turns at bat, plus a walk in the game yesterday. One inning, Oakland leads the Tigers. Second inning in Oakland. It's a curve across. Odom's not thrown too many of those. He gave him a hook on that one. Strike 1 to count on Jim Northrup. A let-up that floats in a little high. 1-1 the count of the Fox. Oakland scoring in the first inning has an early lead, 1-0 over the Tigers here in the second. Odom into action again. The 1-1 delivery. Fastball hit to the left side of the infield. Campaneris backhand. Long throw to first. Not in time. An infield hit. That's the first hit for the Tigers. Good play by Campy, but he just couldn't get the ball there quickly enough to nab the batter Northrup. He went deep over to his right. He backhanded the ball, then set himself and put a little on it, throwing overhand to Epstein. Throw a little bit high, but that didn't make any difference. Northrop had beaten the throw. Now the Tigers get their first hit, and here is Tony the Tiger coming to bat. Tony Taylor, who did not see action in the game yesterday. Playing second base now with McAuliffe moved to short because of the injury to Eddie Brinkman. Taylor's 72 average, 303. He takes a strike called a breaking ball from Odom. Here's a fastball outside to make it a 1-1 count now on Tony Taylor. On first base is Northrop. Epstein holding on the bag with him. Odom goes to his set position. Taylor waiting. He holds it at the belt. Now Northrop takes off. The pitch is outside the throw to second. He is out at second base. Green puts the tag on him. As Tennis made a good throw right to the right field side of the bag, and Northrop is cut out down trying to steal. No runs, one hit, no errors, nobody left. At the end of 1.5 innings in Oakland, the A's won, the Tigers nothing. Now they lead 1-0 in the second. Mike Epstein will lead off against Woody Fryman. Epstein with a couple of hits yesterday, plus 2 walks. He had ended up with 2 for 3. And takes the ball outside. Epstein's been telling everybody for the last couple of years that he can hit left-handed. Now he's just about convinced them. He says he's really a better hitter against left-handers because he concentrates more against them. Here's the fastball high to Mike, and the count is 2-0. New shortstop for the Tigers, a new starting shortstop, McAuliffe. The first time Eddie Brinkman's not started in 72. Championship series or the regular season, either one. McAuliffe moved over to short and Taylor playing second. There's a high curve from Fryman, and the count is 3-0. Rodriguez has played 2 games at shortstop for Detroit, subbing for Brinkman in late innings. McAuliffe has been in 3 in the regular season, and John Gamble took his place in the final game of the year in Detroit. Here's the windup by Fryman, and Epstein takes the strike on the inside corner. 3-1 to count on him. Oakland got a run in the first. They lead 1-0. They scored on a single by Campaneris. He stole second and third and came home on a single by Rudy. There's the ball high, and Epstein gets the walk. That's the 3rd time now in the 2 games that he's drawn a walk. It's the first walk in this game by either pitcher. And here is Gene Tennis, the right-hand batting catcher, who yesterday went 0 for 5. And he's the man who scored the winning run. Coming in on the single by Marquez in the 11th inning. Plus the throwing error by Kaline. Well, a man on, nobody out. 1-0 Oakland leads. They put their leadoff man on base in each of the first 2 innings off the Tiger left-hander Woody Fryman. Woody sets and delivers. It's a strike called on the inside corner to Tennis. a resident of Lucasville, Ohio, native of Russelltown, PA. Epstein with a short lead at first base, Cash holding on the bag with him. The outfield is around a little bit to left on tennis. Now the right-hand batter takes the ball outside, 1-1. Ready to go to work again. He kicks into the biz. Here's a cut and a miss. Strike 2. 1-2 the count on him. Ryman checks out his sign with the Duke of Sims. He didn't like that one. Wants another one. Now ready to go to work. It's a 1-2 pitch coming up to tennis. He takes the ball outside. Even 2-2. Nothing. Oakland in the lead. Second inning. Man on first. Nobody out. Here's the pitch. He struck him out on a high, hard one. That is the third strikeout for Fryman. The last 3 men who've been retired have been gone down on strike. Now here's Dick Green, the second baseman, coming to bat. Started the game yesterday, but did not come to bat. Now, Mangual batted for him in the second inning. First time he was due to hit. Batted .286 for the year. Out with a back injury most of the time. Right-hand batting, Dick Green at the plate. 1 on, 1 out. He takes the fastball high. Last year batted .190. Now, he's had a lot of physical problems throughout his career. There's a high foul out of play. It'll be lifted back toward the seats. Behind the plate, 1-1 the count on Dick. Waiting on deck, Blue Moon Odom, the Oakland pitcher. Oakland in the lead over the Tigers. 1-0, second inning. They've got a man on and 1 away. Epstein, the runner at first base. Here's the set now by Woody Fryman. The Tiger left-hander delivers. There's a fly ball to right. Kalon coming over near the line. Is there, makes the catch, and back to first will go Epstein. Green is out. That's 2 down. 1 on. The batter will be Odom. Odom, the batter now. Odom batting .121. He has a couple of home runs this year. 2 homers and 2 RBIs. Tigers have not fielded the grounder yet. Everything's been a strikeout of a ball hit up in the air in the early innings. 1-0, Oakland leading. Woody Fryman and Odom, the pitchers, facing each other right now. Odom at bat. Woody kicks into the biz. Here's a cut and a miss. Inside pitch around the knees. Mr. Odom does not object to wearing number 13. Man on first. first, Epstein Odom waiting at the plate on the strike one delivery from Woody. Here it comes. He cuts and misses again. Strike two. Like a fast breaking ball in. Woody kicks into the biz. Here's a cut and a miss. Inside pitch around the knees. Mr. Odom does not object to wearing number 13. Man on first, Epstein Odom waiting at the plate on the strike one delivery from Woody. Here it comes. He cuts and misses again. Strike two. Like a fast breaking ball in. The sun has been in and out behind the clouds ever since the game got underway. It was rather cloudy in the early part of the day. Didn't have the great weather we had the first couple of days we were here. Now the set by Fryman. He pitches. Here's a cut and a miss. He struck him out. And that is the fourth strikeout for Woody Fryman. No runs, no hits, no errors or walk. One man left out of the end of two in Oakland. Oakland won, Detroit nothing. Well, we'd like to send greetings from Captain Dean DeLongchamp back to Negaunee, Michigan. He is the brother of Bobby Sue and Clark Sullivan. He wanted to send them his very best and say that he's out here trying to root the Tigers in. Here's Tony Taylor to see what he can do. In the third, it's 1-0 favor of Oakland. Here's a ball outside on Tony. They had a very ridiculous statement in the Oakland paper today from an unnamed fan. He said they would have had a bigger crowd out here if they'd been playing Boston because there are a lot of Boston fans. Here's the pitch to Tony. There's a tapper hit down the first base side, picked up by the catcher, Tennis. He throws to Epstein in time. One away. The catcher to the first baseman. Ernie Rodriguez will be the batter. Well, the Tigers have one hit, an infield hit by Northrop off Blue Moon Odom, that's all. Oakland got a run in the first inning on a single by Campaneris. He stole second and third and came home on Rudy's single. Rodriguez went 0 for 4 yesterday. Hit into fourth out to short, bounced to third, flied to left, and grounded out to shortstop. 1-0. The A's lead the Tigers. Game number 2 of the playoff series. Strike call, Mr. Calacurto. Tennis, the catcher. Rodriguez stepping out for a moment. 1-0. A's in the lead, third inning. He swings as a ground ball at the bando. He gloves it for the first. Got him. 2 down. Well, we've got a contrast in the way this game is developed here. As Fryman comes to bat in the third inning. Well, the Tigers have hit the ball on the ground every time except Sims. He had a fly ball to deep center. Oakland's not hit the ball on the ground yet in their first 2 innings. Fryman has struck out 4 and picked up the other 2 putouts on fly balls. 1 to left and 1 to right. Fryman, it's another ground ball. This one to Bando, cuts it off in front of the shortstop. Campaneris fires to Epstein, and they slide out easily 1-2-3 in the Tiger third. At the end of 2.5 innings in Oakland, the A's won, Detroit nothing. In the National League Playoff Series, Cincinnati even the series of the victory today in Pittsburgh over the Pirates 5-3. Billingham was the starter for Cincinnati. Hall took over the fifth inning. He's the winning pitcher. Bob Moose began for the Bucks. He's the loser. Johnson, Keeson, Hernandez, and Justy followed him on the mound. And Morgan hit the game's only home run. It came in the Cincinnati eighth inning with nobody on base. Well, here's the man who scored the game's only run, Bert Campaneris, who has averaged 51 steals per year over the last years. Right-hand batting infielder waiting on Woody Fryman. 1-0, the Oakland team leading the Tigers in the third. And it's a ball low to Campy, ball one. Woody left hand well to the plate. It's a little bit close on Campy. 2-0 on the leadoff man. After Campaneris, it'll be Matty Alou and Joe Rudy. Bright and sunny again in Oakland. The strike on the inside corner. 2-1 the count on Bert Campaneris. Well, some of the umpires in the grandstand disagreeing with the official arbitrator, Jalak. There's a ball in close down around the knees. 3-1 on Campaneris. The loss of Eddie Brickman because of his ailment will certainly be a serious one for the Tigers. It's been a real spark plug for the Tigers all season long. Here's the windup by Woody Fryman. The pitch to Campaneris is a strike called. He had started for first base. He's got to come back. He dusted that away. He's gone about 6 feet towards first base. That's a maneuver on the part of the batter that an umpire does not appreciate. Jalak may be saying to Campy, let me do the umpiring. Campy may be saying, well, maybe I'm a little bit better one than you are. Jalak, one of the top umpires in the business. Here's the pitch. He swings and fouls it away. 3-2. That's the count on Bert Campaneris. Nothing. Oakland leading. They're batting on the third. Here's the 3-2 pitch again. He swings as a looper hit the left field. It'll be a hit for Campaneris. Horton fields the ball. Campy makes a big turn and stops at first base. 2 for 2 for Campaneris. He has 2 of the 3 Oakland hits. Well, he stole 2 bases the first time he was on. Let's see if he's still that aggressive here in this inning. 1-0. The A's lead. Matty Alou, left stand, the batting outfield at the plate. Leadoff man Campaneris on. Big lead for Campy. Fryman to the set position, delivers over there, and he's back with a slide. It was close. Campy not venturing off quite as far this time. Draws the throw, gets back standing up. The veteran Matty Alou at the bat. And Fryman deals again to first base. Matty Alou in the National League 13 years. This is the first time in the American League for him. This time up today, fly to left. Here's another throw to first by Fryman. 1-0 Oakland leading the Tigers here in the last half of third here at Oakland at the Coliseum. Campaneris does not go. The pitch is swung on hit wide at first, glove by Cash. Throw to McAuliffe at shortstop for one. Relay back to Fryman, gets by him, and they hit the coach, Jerry Adair. And stopping at first now is Alou. Now Fryman goes over and tags Alou, but he did not commit himself towards second, so the tag is not recognized by Johnny Rice. He says that the runner is safe at first base. It's a force out at second. They get the fleet man off the bases, Campaneris, so Alou's a pretty good runner himself. He's not equal in speed to Campaneris. The play will go the first baseman to the shortstop. That's Cash to McAuliffe. Conference near the mound now. Martin has come out now. Do you think there's an argument about the obstruction, Ray, or was it...
I don't think it. I think it was on the way that Alou was going down to first base on the line. And I think that's what Martin's screaming about, and I think that's what Duke Sims is yelling about.
Maybe he ran outside that 45-foot line. The way Sims called for the ball on tag, I thought at first was he thought maybe Matty had committed himself towards second, but apparently that wasn't it. Here's Joe Rudy at bat now with a man on and a man out. Rudy is single in the first inning, drove in the game's only run. He's got Campaneris in from third base. One of the top hitters in the American League, Joe Rudy. Runner goes. The pitch is to first. Cash goes to McAuliffe. They put the tag on the Alou. He's out. Picks off first base. Fryman to Cash to McAuliffe. That's the pitcher to the first baseman to the shortstop. For the second out, it'll make it 2 down and nobody on. He tried a fadeaway slide there to the right field side of the bag, but McAuliffe chased him down and tagged him before he could get to the base. 2 out, nobody on, no count now on Joe Rudy. 1-0, the Oakland team leading the Tigers in the third. There's a ball outside. There's never been more than a 1-run difference in either one of these games so far. The count on Rudy. Fryman left hand's one to the plate. It's a ball outside. He missed the far corner. Athletics lead the Tigers 1-0 last half the third in Oakland. There's a fly ball, deep right center, may be up the alley, it may be out of here. It is off the wall. Chased down by K-line. Rudy going around second now, holds with a long double off the fence. That did not miss the home run target a whole lot. It hit the wooden fence out there in deep right center field. A double for Rudy. Let's pause for station identification. This is the Detroit Tiger Baseball Network.
WJR Detroit, impressive savings on furniture are yours right now in every one of the 12 Art Van stores during their autumn action sale, and immediate free delivery is included.
Here's Reggie Jackson batting now. Reggie struck out his first trip. He takes a fastball outside, ball one. Man on second, Joe Rudy. He has 2 hits. Campaneris has 2. Comprising the total of 4. Now Fryman sets, kicks, delivers. Here's a cut and a miss on a curve. 1-1, the count on Jackson. Oakland ahead of the Tigers in the third, 1-0. Fastball hit on one hop to Cash. He makes the play unassisted. The inning's over. No runs, 2 hits, no errors, 1 man left at the end of 3. Oakland 1, Detroit 0. Oakland scoring in the first inning on a single by Campaneris, steal of second and third, and the single by Rudy. Leading the Tigers 1-0. We're going into the 4th inning in the second game of the American League Championship Series. And here to bring us the action, Ray Lane.
Okay, Ernie, thank you very much. And once again, hello, everybody. Oldham has been a tough customer for the Tigers through the first 3 innings. The Tigers have managed just 1 hit, an infield single by Northrup. Oldham has not walked a batter, or he has not struck out one. Here's McCullough, takes the first pitch for a called strike. Mac 0 for 1. He bounced out to second base his first time up. Mac hitless so far in this championship series. Still looking for his first hit. Slow curve inside at the shoulder. 1-1. Out on strikes 3 times yesterday. Bounced out to second, and he's had 1 ball over the infield so far in this series, and that was a fly ball to center. There's a fly ball to right field, and going back is Alou. He's under it now, moving to his right and makes the catch. So McCullough flies out to the right fielder, Matty Alou, 1 down. That'll bring up Al Kaline. Al bounced out to short in the first inning. So far in the 2 games, 1 for 6, and that was the home run in the top of the 11th, yesterday's game. Now Oldham into the motion, the right-hander deals. The curve outside. That one around the knees. Waits on the next one. And a foul back to the screen. Got a fastball just below the letters on the inside part of the plate. 1-1. A year ago at this time that Oldham was having the arm difficulties, could not come out of the championship series against the Baltimore Orioles. Strike call. Got the curve in that time toward the outside part of the plate, called high. 1-2, the count to Kaline. 8th a year ago against Baltimore with just a couple of full-time starters by the Blue and Catfish Hunters. Fastball is outside. 2-2, the count to Kaline. Oldham started today with a lifetime mark of 5 wins and 3 losses against the Detroiters. This year, 1-0. Now the 2-2 service. There's a ground ball up the middle to center field, a base hit. Kaline chalks up the Tigers' second hit of the ball game. On the shortstop side of second base, Campaneris, going far to his left, could not come up with it. And Kaline has his second hit in this series. First today. That'll bring up Duke Sims. Duke's sent a fly ball to deep center field his first time up. Jackson went almost to the edge of the warning track to pull it in. Now, time called. Sims with that handkerchief cleaning off the glasses before he steps into the batter's box. Yesterday went for the long ball, had a double and a triple. He had 5 official trips. Epstein at the bag at first. Tried to hold Kaline close. Here's the set now by Odom, and the pitch low for a ball. Started him off with a fastball toward the outside part of the plate. Then a sign out there in left center field behind the 375-foot marker. Greetings to the folks back in Michigan. High Flat Rock. Throw to first. Kaline back safely. Epstein almost completely in foul territory when he holds the runner at first base. The right foot just across the line. Fly ball, straight away center field. Reggie Jackson comes in, moves to his right. Under it now, and the center fielder tucks it away. So Sims flies to center. Kaline hangs on at first base. 2 down. That'll bring up Norman Cash. Norm, before the ball game today, was talking about what it was like the first year the A's moved out to Oakland, and without that green background and straightaway center field. He says, was it rough trying to hit during the daytime out here? And that was corrected. Now the pitch to Norman. Slow curve, hangs high, ball 1. Cash bounced out first baseman of the pitcher, starting off in the second inning. Oakland leading 1-0. We're in the top half of the 4th inning. Game number 2 of this championship series in the American League. And the scene will change to Tiger Stadium for the 3rd game on Tuesday. Quick throw to first. Kaline scampers back, the ball bouncing out of Epstein's glove. Still 1-0, the count to Norman. We expect to see Joe Coleman work for the Tigers Tuesday. Kenny Holtzman to go for the A's. Now the 1-0 pitch to Cash. Strike call, got a fastball toward the outside part of the plate, right down the left belt high. 1-1. Norm with a home run in yesterday's ball game. Started off the scoring. With his homer coming in the second inning. Now the 1-1 pitch to him. A change-up pitch outside. 2-1. Some of the best weather we've seen in the Oakland area since we've been coming out here. Kaline not getting too much of a lead at first base, as Odom said. And a quick throw to first. Kaline scampers back safely. Still 2-1, the count to Cash. Bob Short, the president of the Texas Rangers, on hand for this series. He was here sitting on the Tiger side yesterday, now on the Oakland side, third base side today. Another quick toss to first. Kaline back safely. Dick Green, the second baseman, playing on Cash about halfway between first and second. Now shades over a little closer to second base, but he's about 5-6 steps back on the right field grass. Outfield, swung around, favoring Cash to pull the ball toward right. Foul, back over the screen and into the seat. 2-2. Norm was talking about going out to dinner last night with about 3 or 4 different fellas who were sitting there. He said they promised none of them would talk about baseball of the game yesterday. But by the time the main course got there, they were almost in a heated argument about the game. 2-2 pitch. Outside. 3-2, the count to Norman. Quiet bus ride to the stadium this morning. And a pretty quiet locker room as the players got dressed and moved out of the field to warm up. 3-2 pitch, Kaline goes. Line shot to right field base hit. Kaline around second. As the Lou comes up with the ball, throws it back into the infield, and a single for Cash sends Kaline over to third. Tiger runners at first and third. 2 out, and the batter, Willie Horton. First time the Tigers have had 2 runners on base in this ball game. That first time they've had a runner pass first. Here's Willie Horton, 0 for 1. Rolled out to Campaneris at short in the second inning. Willie also looking for his first hit in this championship series. He was 0 for 3 in yesterday's game. Flied to left, popped to third, and struck out. Now today, out short to first. Set by Odom. And the pitch to Horton. Takes the curve, it's outside. Ball 1. The lights have been on here at the Coliseum since the start of the game. Billy Martin taking in the proceedings with the left foot up on the top step of the dugout and looking on. Close eye on Odom and also Willie Horton. Now the set, the 1-0 pitch. Curve is there for a called strike. 1 ball, 1 strike. The count to Horton. Like Fryman, Horton glued to a TV set in the locker room this morning, watching the Lions action. First quarter and part of the second quarter. Fryman had a chance to linger a little later on since he was the starting pitcher. Well, he had to come out for batting practice. Now the 1-1 pitch. Swing and a miss on a curveball around the letters. Breaking away from Horton. 1-2. Deck, Jim Northrup. Tying run for the Tigers at third base and Kaline as the Tigers trail 1-0. Now Horton stepping out of the batter's box, getting some dirt on his hands, taking plenty of time before he moves back in. Horton said he had a hard time sleeping last night. Just sort of laid in bed and going over the Tiger hitters. Now the 1-2 pitch. Curve fouled off, out of play, over the screen. Still 1-2. Odom also saying that before the ball game today that he preferred to pitch against the Tigers here in the Coliseum, a bigger ballpark, distance-wise, than in Tiger Stadium. To go with a 1-2 pitch again to Horton. Here it is. Curveball is lifted in the air to right field. Matty Alou stops in. He's under it. Should make the play. And makes the catch. And Horton flies to right. That's all for the Tigers in the fourth. No runs, 2 hits, no errors. 2 men left on base. And after 3.5 innings of play, it's still Oakland 1, Tigers nothing. Tigers, after this ball game, are hopping on their United Charter and heading back to Detroit. Hopefully, about an hour and a half after the game. It'll all depend how it goes, what kind of reception they have around the locker room. Hayes is trying to gear for an hour and a half, but if it goes like yesterday, can't make it. Just too many questions and answers. Here's Bando. He takes the first pitch in, too close, ball one. Left the fly ball. Shallow right field. Kaline coming in. Taylor going out, and Kaline makes the play. So Bando flies out to right field. Sal now 0 for 2 in the ball game. And it brings up Mike Epstein, who walked his first trip, leading off in the second inning. A nice note from Jerry Whalen of Allen Park, Michigan, and Mr. and Mrs. Gary Jernigan of Flint, Michigan. Folks stationed in the United States Air Force at Sunnyvale, California, on hand watching the game and sending their very best back to their families and friends from Michigan. Here's Epstein. Woody Fryman deals fastball, strike call above the knees. Oakland 1 run, 4 hits, no errors. Tigers no runs, 3 hits, and no errors. Oakland, up to this point, leaving 3 on base. The Tigers have left 2. Pitch to Epstein. Fly ball out of play into the seats on the third base side. The hit that Epstein got in the 11th inning in yesterday's ball game, one that put runners at first and third. It was Epstein swinging on a pitch that Odom was running from first base on instead of a hit and run. He flooped it into left field, a pitch that jammed him right on the fist, and still managed to get it over the infield on the left side. The next pitch to him was high and tight for a ball off the mid of Sims. 1 ball, 2 strikes. The count to Epstein. Mike has walked 3 times in this series, including once today. Fryman now starts to go into his motion, and Epstein steps out, so Fryman steps off the slab. Still 1 ball, 2 strikes. And Epstein stepping out again as Fryman went into the motion. Mike not getting set. Now Shylock indicates that Epstein is all set to go, and Fryman takes a little extra time. Pump. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Outside of the fast one. 2-2. Epstein, a much more aggressive hitter this year than his previous season in the Major Leagues, coming with experience and self-confidence. Now the 2-2 delivery. Called strike 3. Fastball outside corner. That one about letter high. Epstein thought it was wide. Hands on hips. Quick stare to Mr. Shylock, and then walks back to the Oakland dugout. 5 strikeouts for Fryman. And it brings up Gene Tennis, the catcher. Tennis struck out in the second inning. Right-handed batter, slight crouch, chokes up in the bat. Pitch to him is outside, ball 1. If Gene was just a little bit chunkier, he'd almost look like a Sal Bando up there. About the same type of stance and the way they hold their bat. Almost identical. Pitch is low, a curveball, 2-0. Bando with a look down to Irv Noren, his third base coach, with a count 2 balls, no strikes. Back in there now, Fryman into the motion. 2-0 serving. Curved him and a called strike got him at the knees. 2-1. Talked about it yesterday. Tennis got the #1 catching job, the A's, about a month and a half before the season was over, the regular season, taking the job away from Duncan. Pitch to him, in too close. Fastball, moves him back. 3-1. Fryman, despite many hitters having a pretty good swing and power of the inside part of the plate likes to work to most hitters tight. They like to challenge them on the inside corner. 3-1 pitch. Curve, swing and a miss. And that curve ball was on the inside part of the plate. 3-2. Does not mean to say that Fryman will work every pitch to the inside. He'll peck away to the outside, give him a look at a high fastball, then break something off tight. 3-2 pitch. Fly ball, left field. Horton comes on. He's there. Makes the catch. As Tennis flies to left. And the A's, for the first time this afternoon, go down 1-2-3. After 4 innings of play, it's still Oakland 1, Detroit nothing. It'll be Northrop, Taylor, and Rodriguez in the Tiger 5th inning. Nice note from Margie and Check, leader of Dearborn, Michigan, on hand for the game. And pulling for the Tigers. A lot of Tiger fans on hand for this series. Lester Shylock, the umpire today, behind the plate. Johnny Rice at first base. Art Franz at second. Larry Barnett at third base. Don Dunkinger down the left field line. And John Flaherty down the right field line. Here's Northrop. Goes after the first pitch and fouls it off out of play on the third base side. That reaches the second deck. Present time, little breeze blowing in from center field toward home plate. Next pitch to Northrop. Check, swing, and a foul. Bounces over by the A's dugout. That pitch was out of the strike zone, a little tight around the letters. Jim started to come through the bat. Checked and could not get the bat out of the way. Northrop with an infield single in the second inning as Campaneris went in the hole at short, but his throw was not in time. Tigers with 3 hits, 3 singles. Northrop with the single, and Kalon and Katz with singles in the 4th inning. Odom into the motion. 2-strike delivery is low for a ball. That one in the dirt. Breaking pitch, 1-2. Northrop's had some memorable days and nights out here. Not so much in the hitting department as being hit by pitches. Swing and a miss. Got him with a curve. Tennis stopped the ball, then picked it up and put the tag on Northrop to complete the strikeout. And Odom chalks up his first strikeout of the afternoon. 1 out. That'll bring up Tony Taylor. Tony dribbled out, catcher to the first baseman his first time up. Leading off in the 3rd inning. Topped the ball out to the first base side, and Tennis, the catcher, got out there to get the ball and fired Epstein in plenty of time. Tony, who carried a .301 batting average during the regular season, looks at the first pitch low, ball 1. Stays right in that batter's box as Odom goes back to work. Into the motion and the 1-0 pitch. Bouncer off the glove of Odom behind second is Green. He has it, throws to first. In time to get Taylor. Pitcher, second baseman. Over to first. 2 down. Let's pause for station identification. This is the Detroit Tiger Baseball Network. Here's Aurelio Rodriguez, stepping in. 0 for 1. He bounced out to Bando at third base. That was in the 3rd inning. Looks at a curve. It's outside and low. Ball 1. Odom during the regular campaign, 15 games won and 6 games lost. Earned run average at 2.54. And he worked a total of 194 in 1/3 innings before this championship series started. There's a fast one. It's there for a strike toward the outside part of the plate, about belt high. Aurelio in the batting department this year led the Tigers in at bats, runs, hits, and doubles. Right-handed hitter, close stance. Deep in the batter's box. The pitch to him, he chops the foul ball back to the screen. Just got a piece of it. 1-2. Odom's slowing the pace down a little bit here in the fifth inning. All set to work now. The 1-2 pitch. Sidearm curve. Bounced down to Bando on 2 hops at third base. His throw to first and plenty of time. And Rodriguez is out third to first. Tigers go down 1-2-3 in the fifth inning. After 4.5 innings of play, it's still Oakland 1, Detroit nothing.
Talking now about McCullough getting the starting assignment today at shortstop, facing the injured Eddie Brinkley. Mack has not had a chance as far as any ground balls. He's taken a couple of throws and made putouts, getting Campaneris on a force out. Cash to McCullough. Then the pickoff play on a Lou. Simon Cash to McCullough. Goes to the third inning, but no chances on the ground. Matter of fact, there's not been too many chances by the Tiger infield at all. Here's George Hendrick batting for Dick Green. So we have our first pinch hitter in the ball game. Hendrick got in yesterday's ball game, was up one time. A right-handed hitter, tall, slender right-hander, takes the next pitch low from Simon. 1 ball, 1 strike. George went 0 for 1 in yesterday's game as a pinch hitter. In too close at the belt. 2-1. He's batting for Dick Green, starting off the 8th, 5th inning. Henrik during the regular season a 180 hitter. The pitch field, fastball, that's fouled out of play. That went into the first deck and then bouncing down to the second deck. Levels here, second deck, the mezzanine. 2 of the cameramen and the Tiger was taking shots. But unlike Tiger Stadium, there's no hangers at that level except for a couple of TV cameras. Foul over the screen, back into the seats. So camera-wise here, for mostly still photographers, it's working behind the plate, shooting through the screen. To the right of the screen downstairs, and to the left of the screen, mostly at field level. Although a few of the photographers have put up a platform and getting maybe 4 feet off the ground. Next pitch to Hendrick is outside, so we have a full count, 3 balls and 2 strikes for the pinch hitter, George Hendrick. On deck, Blue Moon Odom. Simon in the motion. Here's the payoff pitch. Line shot past the glove of Rodriguez in the left field. That's a base hit. Horton up with the ball, and Hendrick starts off the 8th, 5th inning with a single to left field. Rodriguez diving to his left, but could not come up with the ball. So that brings Odom to the plate. Sims, asking for time, goes out to talk with Fryman. Quick conference with the Tiger pitcher. Tigers at this point thinking bunt, sacrifice bunt. The situation from Odom as he steps in. Rodriguez at the edge of the grass, and he looks in to the Tiger dugout, watching Trubisky and Billy Martin. So Rodriguez moving up a little closer now on the third base side. Cash holding the runner Hendrick at first base. Looks up. Odom squares, and the pitch is in too close to the knees. Ball 1. Blue Moon had squared around. Wanted the bunt, but the pitch was in too close. 1 ball, no strike. Flyman again, steady, pitching. Odom attempts to bunt and fouls it off. Coming back and off the mid of fifth. 1-1. on the 1-1 pitch. Bunts at third base side. Sims has it. He'll go to first in the throw. Tony Taylor covers. And a sacrifice bunt is good by Oldham. Catcher, the second baseman, covering at first with Henry. Moving to second base. Conference at the mound. While we have the opportunity, let's pause for this message.
Hi, this is J.P. McCarthy, and there used to be a time when I felt kind of in control of the morning around here. Then, Billy Martin showed up.
What about Tom Heller?
Well, what about him?
Yeah, he hasn't seen much action lately.
I couldn't play so many guys.
Okay, don't get mad.
I'm not.
Asking.
Just tell you like it is.
Then I got a call from a disgruntled candidate for King of the Hobos.
I've been campaigning for the office of king, but I have been unsuccessful because they have a tendency to put in the same fellas every 3rd, 5th, 7th, 9th, 11th.
Now, listen, it's educational. The show's a great place to learn a foreign language.
Yes, Papodini sneaky.
And in this election year, don't forget to vote.
Hello, Saxon. Hello, Saxon. Hello, Saxon. Hello, Saxon. Hello, Saxon. Oh, yeah.
Oh, and don't forget to listen from 6:15 to 9 on WJR 760.
Campaneris, the next batter, he fouled off the first pitch out of play on the right field side. Now the next pitch from Farman, a line shot to right field. Base hit. K-line plays it on too hot. Henrik stops at third, and the throw is cut off by Cass at the mound. So Campaneris, with one strike on him, singled with a line drive to right field. And Henrik, who was at second base, stopped at third when K-line judged the ball. But the A's knocking on the door right now with runners at first and third, only one out. Henrik started off the inning in a pinch-hitting role and singled to left field. Moved to second on the sacrifice bunt by Oldham. And now goes to third on a single by Campaneris. So we get some activity now in the Tiger bullpen. Fred Sherman, the left-hander, begins to tune up along with Chris Zachary, the right-hander. Matty Alou will be the next batter. Tony Taylor called time and moved in from his second base position to talk with Priman. Now Tony walks over and has a few words with Dick McAuliffe in front of second base. Mac playing shortstop today, Taylor at second. And the Tigers set up their infield on Alou with Rodriguez keeping with the bag at third, about 6 feet off the line. McAuliffe in the base path at shortstop. Halfway with Tony Taylor. Line shot over the head of Taylor to right center field. A base hit. Henrik scores, and Campaneris moving from first to third, and a single by Matty Alou. Had Taylor been back at a normal second base position, he would not have got that line drive well over his head. The single by Alou scored Henrik from third, and the A's lead 2-0. Campaneris shooting from first to third on the single. So it's 2-0. The A's leading. That's the 7th hit off of Priman. Alou's first hit of the afternoon. Time called. Sims goes out to talk with Priman. Billy Martin signaled for Sims to go out there. Billy now watching his bullpen warming up. And then glances quickly back out to the mound. Zachary and Sherman. Joe Rudy, the next batter for the A's. Now here comes Billy Martin, walking slowly from the dugout. And Billy may want to bring in Zachary. We'll have to wait and see. With Joe Rudy, a right-handed batter. McAuliffe and Sims will join in on the summit meeting at the mound. 3 hits by the A's in the 5th inning, producing another run. They're second in the ball game, and Martin indicates now he wants to make the change. And he's asking for Zachary to come in to face Rudy. That's going to be all for Woody Priman, who works 4 1/3 innings. Gives up at this point 2 runs, allows 7 hits. Walks 1, and strikes out a total of 5. And the new pitcher is the right-hander, Chris Zachary.
Well, Zach's done a good job for the Tigers all year, and Billy Martin wants him in there against this right-hand batting Joe Rudy. See if he can stem the tide here. 2-0. The A's scoring in the first inning on the single by Campaneris. He stole second and third and rode home on a single by Rudy. He's had something to do with the scoring of the second run also after Hendrick's single. He was sacrificed to second by Odom Monk, went to third on a single by Campaneris, and then came home on a single to right by Matty Alou. That's where we are now. Campaneris has been the big thorn in the Tigers' side so far. 3 singles, 2 stolen bases, and he scored the first run. Well, Sims and Zachary talking over the situation at the mound now. And Rudy will be the batter. And right now we're going to take a little pause, and we'll be back after this message.
Saturday morning confusion. You think you can sleep, it's illusion. Cause you probably get a rude intrusion from Harry.
Right now on the Oakland A's as he takes over from Woody Fryman with A's runners at first and third. Good runners on base. Campaneris, as you know, with that great speed at third base. And better than average speed in Matty Alou at first base. Joe Rudy has singled and doubled so far this afternoon. 2 for 2. Rudy in yesterday's game was 0 for 4, although he did have a sacrifice fly that drove in the A's first run. Here's the pitch, Joe, outside. Ball 1. Sweeping breaking pitch. Sims dropping to one knee and shifting to the outside to get that ball. Zachary made 24 appearances in relief this year for the Tigers. And only scored on twice in those 24 appearances. Remember, did not start the season with the Tigers, was bought by the Detroiters from the AAA Farm Club at Toledo, latter part of May. Pitch to Rudy, fouls it off. Bouncing back to the screen. Zachary that time got Rudy to go after a low fastball toward the outside part of the plate. 1-1. With that extreme close stance up in the front part of the batter's box. Curveball bends outside to him. 2-1. Fred Sherman continuing to throw the Tiger bullpen. Reggie Jackson, the next batter. He's at the on-deck circle. The job right now is for Zachary to get Rudy somehow without allowing a run to get in here. And hopefully to face Jackson with a left-hander, Sherman. Now Lerrin Lagrow, the big right-hander, begins to loosen up in the Tiger bullpen. The set by Zachary. The 2-1 pitch. In the dirt, off the arm of Sims, and that'll allow Campaneris to score from third base. Pitch that hit about 2 feet out in front of the plate, came up and got Sims on the right shoulder, rolled a good 25 feet from home plate to the right, and that allowed Campaneris to score from third base. Alou moving to second on the wild pitch. And the count goes 3-1 to Joe Rudy. The run will be charged to Fryman. That's 3 runs to Woody. Alou still belonging to Woody Fryman out of second base. And it makes the score now, Oakland 3, Detroit 0. 3-1. The count to Joe Rudy. The set by Zachary. The pitch to Rudy. Way outside. Gets past him. Back to the backstop. Alou goes to third. And Rudy to first on the walk. It'll be a walk. And a wild pitch allowing Olu to go to third base. And Rudy to first on the walk. Billy Martin quickly out of the dugout, and he is moving to the mound. That's going to be all for Zachary as Fred Sherman gets the call now to come in. So Zachary works to one man. And while working to that one man, gives up 2 wild pitches and finally walks him. And once again, the Tigers faced with the situation with A's runners at first and third. And still only 1 out. Zachary very dejected, walking from the mound of the Tiger dugout. So Sherman becomes the third pitcher to work for the Tigers this afternoon. Well, it didn't work out the right way, right?
Sure didn't, Ray, and it's up to Fred now to keep him as contained as he possibly can. The game about to get out of hand here. The Oakland team with a 3-0 lead, and Odom going very strong. So the Tigers are faced with a situation where they've got to come back with a real strong batting attack, and also Sherman will have to slam the door in the face of the A's here, who continue to threat. They've got runners at first and third. In case you missed the earlier game in the National League playoff series, Cincinnati took the measure of Pittsburgh 5-3. Cincinnati had 5 runs, 8 hits, and 1 error. Pittsburgh had 3 runs, 7 hits, and 1 error. Cincinnati broke it open early with 4 runs in the first inning and added the run on Morgan's home run of the 8th with nobody on. Billingham, the starter for the Reds. Hall relieved him in the 5th inning. He gets credit for the victory. Moose, the starter for the Bucks. He takes the loss. Johnson, Keeson, Hernandez, and Justy finished off on the mound for the Pittsburgh Pirates. This the second game of the series here. The Oakland A's lead a 1-0, and they've got the lead here in the second game, 3-0 on 3 runs, 7 hits, no errors. The Tigers have no runs, 3 hits, and no errors. The Tigers now have gone to their third pitcher, Fred Sherman. Fryman started. Then Zachary came on here in the 5th inning, walked 1 man, threw 2 wild pitches, and Sherman is inserted in the pitching rotation. Fred making his 58th appearance. He's won 7 and lost 3. Here's Ray.
Well, Sherman was tuning up. It's hard to tell what he'll be doing with Jackson now, but he certainly was not consistent around that plate. He let go with 1 pitch and went all the way back to the screen. And the last one he served up was very high and tight and almost got past him. But now this is where it counts as Reggie Jackson steps in. First and third occupied by A runners. Set by Sherman. Check those runners. Here's the pitch to Jackson. Swinging and fouling off the pitch. Got a high, tight fastball. And fouled back into the screen. 1 strike to count to Reggie. He has struck out and bounced to first base. Both times up against Woody Fryman. The next pitch is outside. Another fastball. 1-1. Strike to counter Reggie Jackson. The pitch, look out. Right in his head, he ducks out of the way. That's ball. 2-1. Pitch to Reggie, pop foul, and this will be out of play. Into the seat, third base side, and that's second deck. 2 balls and 2 strikes to count to Reggie. Sherman taking plenty of time, working deliberately. Just now, picking up the time from Duke Sims. Whereas Jackson waits on that 2-2 pitch. Rudy at first base. Matty Alou at third with 1 out here in the A's fifth inning. The pitch, look out. He hits the dirt right up the head. Had to bite the dust on 2 occasions. 2 out of the 5 pitches so far served up by Sherman. Cash at the bag at first, trying to hold Rudy close. He'll get off that bag, though, with Jackson, a left-handed batter. Here's the curveball, line up in the field. They sit, that's going to roll all the way to the wall. Alou scores from third. Rudy makes the turn at third. He's going to score. Jackson on his way to third base. And the throw gets past Rodriguez. Sherman backs up, has the ball, throws to Jackson, and he gets in safely. Reggie Jackson hit one up the power alley in left center field that got in the 2 base runners, Alou and Rudy. Then Jackson made a big turn at second base, went about halfway. The throw was coming to Rodriguez. Jackson elected to go back to second since there was no Tiger covering second base. The ball got past Rodriguez, rolled to almost the top step of the dugout when Sherman got the ball, threw back to Rodriguez. By this time, Jackson was coming back toward third base and with a head-first slide, got him safely. It'll be a double for Reggie. Picks up 2 RBIs and then an error. Charged the shortstop, McAuliffe, on the throw to third base and got past Rodriguez, allowing Jackson to eventually get to third base. And the score, 5 in of 8. Oakland breaking loose with 4 runs here in the 5th. Here's Bando swinging and missing. Struck 1. 4 runs charged the starter Fryman. The 5th run belongs to Zachary. And the A's still knocking on the door with only 1 out. Runner at third base and Reggie Jackson. And 1 strike to count the Bando, who is 0 for 2 so far in the game. Infield drawn in. Curve outside. Off the mid of Sims. Keeps it in front of him. 1-1. Right side of the infield for the Tigers, Cash and Taylor. About a step off the grass. McAuliffe at short, a little more than halfway in. Rodriguez back about 7 steps from the line. A little further back than even with the bag. Pitch is fouled off on a play into the seats first base side. 1 ball, 2 strikes. The count to Sal Bando. So here in the 5th inning for the A's, they have scored 4 runs at this point. Picked up 4 hits, plus a couple of wild pitches, a walk. And an error to McAuliffe. The error allowing Jackson to get to third base. Reggie picked up 2 RBIs with that double. Now Sherman set and steps off the slab. Jackson not too far off the bag at third base. 8 hits so far by the A's, leading 5-0 here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Set by Sherman. Here's the pitch to Bando, swinging and missing on a low curveball. Sims puts the tag on Bando to complete the strikeout. First strikeout for Sherman. Runner still at third. 2 gone. The batter, Mike Epstein. Epstein has walked and been called out on strike. The Tigers, as you know, had great success against Western teams this year, with the exception of the Oakland A's. They had only 4 wins in 12 meetings. And the A's continue to dominate the Tigers so far in the first game and again this afternoon. Half swing checked in time by Epstein on a curveball that was down and out. 1 ball, no strikes. The count to Epstein, left-handed batter. Great power. coming in and to his right. The center fielder under it makes the catch. That's all for the A's in the fifth. However, they come up with 4 runs. They get 4 hits, plus a walk. A couple of wild pitches, 1 Tiger error, 1 man left on base. And after 5 innings of play, Oakland 5, Detroit nothing. Defensive change now with the Oakland A's. Kubiak comes in and takes over the duties out at second base. Dick Green went out for a pinch hitter there in the 5th inning. And the Tigers will start it off with a pinch hitter. And Tom Haller will be batting for Sherman. Number 9 position in the Tiger batting order. The first pinch hitter used by Billy Martin this afternoon. Tom Haller. Tigers 6th inning, and the Tigers have some catching up to do as they trail by 5 runs. 5-0. Tom Haller carried a batting average during the regular season, at least wound up with it, at .207. And for Haller, his first appearance in this series. Left-handed batter. As Blue Moon Odom gets all set to work, he pumps in the right-hander deal. Change up, hit on the ground on to Epstein at first base, drops to one knee. And Hackett steps on the bag, and that's all for Haller. 1 pitch. And he's out to the first baseman, unassisted. So 1 away, that'll bring up Dick McCullough. McCullough steps in, he's hitless in 2 trips. Pitch to him. It's low, ball 1. One ball, no strikes. The count to Mac. Tigers have 3 hits off of him. Outside and low, 2-0. K-line at the on-deck circle. Northrop with an infield single in the 2nd inning. And K-line and Cash had singles in the 4th. Called strike. 2-1. Biggest threat the Tigers have had so far in this game against the A's in the 4th inning. 1-out single by K-line with 2 gone. Cash single. Tiger runners were at 1st and 3rd. And that was it. Pitch is outside. 3-1. Lerrin Lagrow throwing in the Tiger bullpen. In all probability, he'll be the Tigers' next pitcher. Now the 3-1 pitch to Mac. Swinging and missing on a change-up curve around the knees. 3-2. Now the payoff pitch. Ground ball to the right of Epstein. He gloves it. Odom covering the bag and steps in the bag inside. McCullough flicking his bat and bouncing out. First baseman of the pitcher. Let's pause for station identification. This is the Detroit Tiger Baseball Network. Ray Lane and Ernie Harwell from Oakland's Coliseum, where the game number 2 has not been the Tigers so far. It's been Oakland all the way, 5-0. We're at the top of the 6th. 2 gone, nobody on base, and K-line making a change-up pitch inside a low on the first one. 1 ball, no strike. Now with a single and 2 trips. Fastball is outside. 2-0. The a 2-0 delivery called strike. He curved him. That one at the knees. 2-1. Odom coming back now with a 2-1 pitch. Kaline bounces it down to Bando on 2. Hot third baseman has it. Throws to first in time. Kaline is off third to first. Tigers for the second straight inning go down 1-2-3. After 5.5 innings of play, it's still Oakland 5, Detroit nothing. One-time pitcher at Arizona State, Lerrin Lagrow. Big right-handed pitcher with the Tigers coming on. Lerrin now the fourth pitcher to work this afternoon for the Detroiters. And the first appearance that he's made in this championship series. Arrived on the Tiger scene this year, first part of August 3rd, after pitching at Toledo. They got into 16 ball games, 16 relief appearances. So Sherman worked 2/3 of an inning, not charged with a run, gave up a hit. Walked done and struck out 1. It's been Fryman for 4 1/3 innings, Zachary a 1 batter, and Sherman 2/3 of an inning. 4 runs belonging to Fryman, 1 charged to Zachary. Here's Gene Tennis, the catcher. Starting off the A's 6th inning, he's hitless in 2 trips, struck out, fly to left field. Legrow into the motion. Here's the pitch, sidearm fastball is in too close, ball 1. Pitch, strike called. He got a breaking pitch. Runner on the knees. Legrow won none and lost 1 during the regular season for the Tigers. Next pitch is below, 2 balls and a strike. He had 27 innings. He had an earned run average of 1.33. Now the big right-hander into the motion. Here's the 2-1 pitch. And a foul off the chest protector coming up to Shylock. Fastball that came in, and Tennis was not swinging at it, but could not get out of the way. And it just tipped the bat and back into the chest protector of old Nestor. 2-2. Next pitch from Legrow, fouled out of play. Now one upstairs behind the plate. Still 2 balls and 2 strikes. Legrow to try it again. 2-2 delivery. And another foul ball. Kind of just getting a piece of the curve. The A's owner, Charlie Finley, has been a busy man today. He started this ball game sitting down behind the A's dugout in the first row, talking first of all to Joe Cronin, president of the American League, then entertaining some other folks a few seats away. Now it's up in the private box behind the plate. There's some more folks. Call strike 3. Fastball up the knees, and Tennis is caught looking. Well, Legrow strikes out the first man he faces. 1 out in the A's 6th inning. That'll bring up Ted Kubiak for his first appearance at the plate this afternoon. Kubiak came in at second base in the top of the 6th inning. Kubiak in yesterday's game, and while he was in there, went 1 for 3, had a single. Fouls off the first pitch, into the seat. And by the sound of the fans, somebody made pretty good play. Pitch is low and outside. 1-1. Kubiak has started the season with the Texas Rangers. And his old boss, Mr. Short. watching the proceedings, not too far away, behind the ace dugout. 1-1 pitch. A little bit high. Shylock almost came up with the right hand that time to indicate a strike, and then held it back. 2 balls and a strike. The next pitch. In too close at the knees. 3-1. In all, Kubiak this season appeared in 97 games. That included his time with the Rangers and also at Oakland. Played in 46 games with Texas before being traded. Takes a strike, 3-2. Nothing. Oakland leads. We're in the bottom half of the 6th inning. Now the payoff pitch. 3-2 pitch. It's popped up. Left side of the infield. McAuliffe moves back. Left center field grass. Under it, makes the catch. Kubiak drops to short. 2 down. That'll bring up the pitcher, Blue Moon Otis. Odom at the plate today has struck out once, played down a sacrifice bunt. Out of the pitching department, he's given the Tigers only 3 hits, 3 singles. He struck out 1 and he's walked none. Swing and a miss on a fastball. Might have been a little bit low. Pitch to Odom in the dirt for ball 1-1. The A's, by the way, today wearing their wedding gown white uniform, trimmed in Kelly green and gold. Yesterday they had their gold tops and the white uniform. And fly ball to left field. Horton backs up. He's there. Makes the catch. Odom tagged it pretty good, and Willie got a good jump on it, moving back into his left. Made the play in deep left field. So the A's go down 1-2-3. After 6 innings of play, Oakland 5, Detroit nothing. After 6 innings of play, the Tigers trailing Oakland 5-0. The A's 5 runs, 8 hits, no errors. Oakland leaving 4 men on base, 1 in the 1st, 2nd, 3rd, and again in the 5th inning. The Tigers, no runs, 3 hits. The Tigers have committed 1 error, and the Tigers have left 2 on base. Been a big inning in the 5th inning for Oakland, scoring 4 jives. They go out in front 5-0. The A's picked up their first run in the 1st inning. So something has to hurry for the Tigers in the way of runs as they go to the top of the 7th. The batter will be Duke Sims. And here's the fellow that's mostly in a hurry, Ernie Harwell.
Thank you, Ray Lane. Here we go now. Odom has been tough. He's retired the last 7 Tiger batters in a row. The right-hander delivers, and Sims takes a pitch in close, ball 1. The Tigers have had only 1 threat. In the 4th inning, a single by Kaline and a single by Cash put runners at 1st and 3rd. There were 2 out at the time, and Horton ended the threat with a fly ball into right field. Other than that, the Tigers have gone down 1-2-3 in 5 of the 6 innings, although they had a 2-out single by North. Up in the 2nd, he was cut down trying to steal second base. So Odom has been a very tough customer on the Tiger batters here this afternoon in Oakland. He's got a 5-0 lead. Well, the right-hander delivers, and Sims takes a half cut. It's ruled a strike. Seemed to hurt his foot as he took a swing at that one. He might have stepped on his foot. He steps out of the batter's box for a moment. The Tigers with 3 hits, and they've all been singles. Northrop, Kaline, and Cash, 1 apiece. Only 1 time have they had a man pass first base. A changeup that floats in close on the Duke of Sims, and the count on Sims, 2 balls and 1 strike. Odom has struck out only 1. He's had good support from his infielders, especially. Not too many balls hit in the outfield. The left fielder, Rudy, as yet does not have a chance out there. Now Odom checks his sign, ready to go to work again. 5-0 lead for Oakland. There's a fastball outside on Sims, 3-1. So So far, Odom's got to walk the batter. In the National League Championship Series earlier in the day, Cincinnati bested Pittsburgh 5-3, hauled at relief for Winter, and Moose, the starter for the Pirates, the loser. Here's a strike called a curve across 3-2 on Duke Sims. He'll be followed by Cash, and then it'll be Willie Horton. Seventh inning in Oakland, game number 2 of the playoff series. Here's a cut in the miss. He struck it out. That's the second strikeout for Odom. It's the 8th in a row. Odom has retired. Well, the real story of this playoff series so far is that the athletic pitchers have stopped the Tiger hitting attack. The Tigers were busting out with hitting. And they came in here and they've been stopped by very strong Oakland pitching. Now Odom pitches to Cash, who takes a blooper pitch, very high ball one. Cash bounced to Epstein and singled to right. 1 for 2 for Storm and Norman. Outfield hits the right at him. The infield is back and swung around to the right a little bit. Odom, the right-hander, gets his sight from Chester Tennis, and a change-up is in too close. 2-0, the count on Cash. Next game of the series will be at Tiger Stadium. That's on Tuesday afternoon. Hope you'll be out there with us. Here's the 2-0 pitch. It's a strike. Fed the fastball across. 2-1, the count on Cash. John Odom pitching very strong ball. Here delivers. There's a bounding grounder hit toward Kubiak. We toss the first to Epstein, and it's an easy out. 2 up and 2 away. The last 9 Tigers have gone down in a row. Here's Willie Horton stepping in. Woody's bounced too short. Hit a fly ball to right field. Alou is only 2 times at bat. He's 0 for 2 for the afternoon. Cloudy skies in Oakland now. Outfield bending around toward left. Will setting himself in the batter's box, waiting on the Oakland right-hander Odom to go into the windup. Here's the pitch. He takes a very slow curve outside of ball 1. Gene Tyson, Mrs. Gene Tyson from the Flint Fenton area out here to try to root the Tigers in. Right now, Oakland's got the upper hand of this one. 5-0 in the 7th. The Tigers have the bases empty and 2 away. They've not been able to do any good at all against Odom. And the pitch is on the way. Foul to the screen. 1-1, the count on Horton. Only in 1 inning have the Tigers failed to go out 1-2-3. That was in the 4th with 1 out. Kaline singled, and then after Sims fly to center, Cash singled, and Kaline took 3rd, but Horton into the inning with a fly to right. The only time the Tigers have moved a man past first base against Blue Moon Odom. The right-hander checks his sign with catcher Gene Tennis. Horton waiting on a 1-1 pitch from him. Here's the windup, and he delivers. It's a swing and a miss for a changeup. Willie pulled the trigger too early on that one. So Odom ahead of him. Ball 1, strike 2 on Willie Horton. Outfield deep to left. Will steps away for a moment. The Tigers have been in. They were the last team to win a regulation pennant before the playoffs got started in 1969 was the first year of the playoffs. Here's a pitch in too close. 2-2 the count on Willie. down, 2 out, nobody on. 5-0. Oakland leads Detroit in the first half of the 7th here in Oakland Coliseum. As a change-up popped in the air between third and home. Bando crawling for it. Makes the catch in the side to side. Fair ball by about a foot. Nothing across. Here come the 8th and out of the 7th. The score, Oakland 5, Detroit nothing. Lerrin Lagrow, the big right-handed, going to the mound now, and we got a little confetti coming out of the upper deck. Or litter, depending on the way you look at it. I guess if you're a Tiger fan, it's litter. If you're an Oakland fan, it's confetti. Legrow will face the top of the batting order now, Campy Campaneris, and he's been the big man for the Oakland A's. 3 singles and 3 trips. Stole 2 bases in the first inning, scored the first run. He scored another run in the 5th inning. 3 for 3 for Bert Campaneris. Turned in a great performance this afternoon for Oakland. 5-0, the A's lead. Lerrin Lagrow on the mound, the 4th Tiger pitcher ready to go to work. Fryman, Zachary, Sherman, and Legrow have worked down the hill for Billy Martin's team. Here's the pitch, and Campy is hit by the pitch. It was a low pitch, and he throws the bat at Lerrin Lagrow. Now Shylock grabs him. Lerrin is coming in. The bench is empty, and I don't believe there'll be any confrontation between the two teams. Billy Martin is being held back now. Campaneris threw the bat at the pitch of Legrow after he was hit. I think it got him on the ankle. Billy Martin is being restrained by 3 umpires at this moment. Johnny Rice is the one who's grabbing him. Willie Horton is here in the group now. Joe Schultz has come over. And the two teams have separated into 2 groups, and they are not going at each other. But the bat was thrown by Campaneris toward the mound. Lerrin Lagrow stepped in a few paces, did not come in and challenge Campaneris, and the fight did not develop. Remember, back in Detroit earlier in the year, these two teams were involved in a free-for-all, and it almost got started there, but the umpires, very alert, jumped in and stopped it before it got underway. Billy Martin is steaming as he heads back toward the dugout. Now, it'll be interesting to see what the umpires do. Will they throw Campaneris out of the game? Will they do anything about Legrow? Williams has come out. He's talking with Shylock. Now, the rule book says that if an umpire feels that a pitcher has thrown at a batter deliberately, he usually warns him and then puts him out of the game. I believe this time that he is going to be put out directly. Here comes Willie Horton in from left field. He's protesting. Here comes Art Fowler out, and Billy Martin is coming back, and I believe Lerrin Lagrow, from the indications of Shylock, has been ejected from the game. And the Tigers are steaming about this. Their contention is it was Campaneris who threw the bat. Now, Shylock may feel that it was an intentional throwing at the batter Campaneris. Martin is going at it hot and heavy. There's no question about that. He is face-to-face with Mr. Shylock. And I would have to assume that Billy Martin is saying, why are you throwing my pitcher out? The bat was thrown by the batter Campaneris. He is the man who started it. Well, Mr. Shylock may feel that Lerrin Lagrow started it by throwing at the batter. But Martin and Shylock are really going at it heavy now. John Flaherty is in there. Johnny Rice is there to try to restrain Martin. Norman Cash has come over. Joe Schultz. Now Flaherty holding back Billy a little bit. John Hiller, who had run in a little bit from the bullpen, has been set back, and maybe he will warm up now. Legrow is out of the game. And Horton at the mound is being restrained now in his argument for the umpire. Legrow have both been ruled out of the game by the umpire. And Martin continues to put up an argument with the plate umpire, Nestor Shylock. Martin finally being moved back toward the outfield by Tony Taylor. Campaneris hit by the pitch. They'll have a runner for him. Now Cash takes up the argument with Shylock. And the new pitcher will be Johnny Hiller. Well, a little extra added fillip to this one, Mr. Lane.
No, there we've had some close pitches when Sherman was in there working to Reggie Jackson. And Jackson kept his cool. And Legrow has not been, as far as a young pitcher with great control. Very surprised at Shylock throwing Legrow out of the ballgame. And I think Martin and Cash were a little bit shocked about it, too. Horton, I think, definitely, knowing Legrow in the ball club, tried to come in to explain that he's not that kind of a guy, let alone throwing at a batter. And knowing soft-spoken, quiet Lerrin Lagrow, it'd take an awful lot of prodding for him to be told to throw at somebody. So Hiller will be given as much time as possible to warm up. Martin still conferring with Shylock just on the first base side of the mound. So we've had our first flare-up in this series, but certainly not the first flare-up between these two clubs. There's been a history of it over the years. At Kansas City before they came out to Oakland, and the Tigers, and then once they got here, Oakland, we had it at Tiger Stadium. We've had it here at the Coliseum, I think, about 3 times. And I think earlier today I was talking about Northrup. We've had some memorable events out here, and it was not in batting or fielding, but it was when he was hit by a pitch one time. We had a real free-for-all. I think we go about 4 years ago or 3 years ago on that one. That was a time that some things were also thrown in the stands, too, I believe.
Well, this situation that I've talked to Billy Martin about many times, what happens in a situation like this, the batter throws the bat at the pitcher, and the pitcher is out of the ball game, and the batter's out of the ball game. And I think Billy's contention is that if you want to get a pitcher who's going along pretty good out of the game, have your batter throw a bat at him, and after he's been hit by a pitch, and that makes it look like it's very much a part of throwing at the batter by the pitcher, so they both have to go out, and then your pitcher's out. Of course, Campaneris, on the other hand, has been the spark of the Oakland team. So you're getting Legrow, who looked very effective on the mound in relief here, out, and also Campaneris is sacrificed. And I know that the rule book, the official rules, of course, which are interpreted by different directives and everything else from the league president, the official rules say that the umpire will warn a pitcher and then toss him out of the game. However, in this case, I would have to believe that Shylock felt it was drastic, and he'd have to get them both out.
Well, maybe Nestor and the umpiring crew will have their critique later on, because Dick Butler, in charge of the American League umpires, sitting with Mr. Cronin, president of the American League. Cheering you here right now as Hiller was loosening up, fired one right past him, and went all the way back to the backstop. We will get a pinch runner for Campaneris at first base, as Campy was hit by the pitch. And then after he threw the bat at Legrow, ejected from the ball game, so Dal Maxwell comes in to run for Campaneris, and he's at first base. Hiller continues to loosen up in the mound. And while this is all taking place, some of the guards moved out into the left and right field areas and picked up quite a bit of debris that was tossed out of the stand out in the left field and right field areas. John Hiller comes on after winning 1 and losing 2 for the Tigers this season. And, of course, as you know, had that big victory at the tail end of the season in his first victory in 2 years. In fact, to the day that he last appeared on the mound in the starting role. And then had the heart attack and fought his way back and arrived on the Tiger roster in July. So it'll be Hiller And he becomes the fifth pitcher to work this afternoon for the Tigers. He'll be facing the left-handed batter, Matty Alou. Okay, Ern.
Well, Mr. Joe Cronin watching the ball game from his seat back of the dugout, so he won't have to depend too much on the umpire's report. He saw it with his own eyes. Matty Alou will be the batter now against the left-handed John Hiller. Man on first, that's Maxwell running for Campaneris, who was hit on the left ankle by the pitch from Lerrin Lagrow. And Hiller's first pitch is in close on Matty Alou. Matty had a single and drove home a run in the fifth inning when Oakland broke it wide open with a 4-run surge. They lead the Tigers 5-0. They're batting in the seventh. There's a bounding ball to second. Taylor to McAuliffe for one. The flip over to Cash. It's a double play by the Tigers. Maxwell is out at second, and out at first is Matty Alou. The batter now with 2 down and nobody on will be Joe Rudy. Rudy has been tough. He and Campaneris have led the attack here against Tiger pitching this afternoon. Joe singled in the run in the first inning. He doubled in the third, and he walked and scored a run in the fifth inning. So he has 2 for 2 against Tiger pitching. Fryman, Zachary, Sherman, Legrow, and Hiller have worked on the mound with the Tigers. Left-hander Hiller delivers a curved hit in the air right to the glove of Rodriguez on a line drive for the third out, and the side retired. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left. And at the end of 7 in Oakland, it's the A's 5, the Detroit Tigers nothing. Al Maxwell will stay in the game. He'll play shortstop, replacing the man for whom he ran, Campy Campaneris. And the Tigers come to bat now in the 8th inning, and they need some instant runs. They are trailing 5-0. Let's pause briefly for station identification. This is the Detroit Tiger Baseball Network.
Your power station for sports, WJR Detroit. Be your own furniture comparison shopper. Compare Art Van's prices, name brands, and immediate free delivery anywhere. You'll discover a simple truth. There's no comparison.
Manager Billy Martin of the Tigers walking up and down in front of the dugout bench. He's steaming and saying a few words in the direction of the plate umpire, Shylock. The Tigers bat in the 8th. They trail 5-0. Been hobbled so far by the excellent pitching of Odom. Northrop, who has one of the 3 singles off Odom, will lead off. And the pitch is high to Jim for a ball 1. Northrop singled in the 2nd inning, then was out stealing. The Tigers have gone out 1, 2, 3 in every inning except the 4th when they had 2 singles. Runners at first and third with 2 out, their best threat. There's the ball very wide. It's 2-0, the count on Northrop. Tony Taylor waiting on deck, and then it'll be Aurelio Rodriguez. 5 runs, 8 hits, no errors for the A's. The Tigers have no runs, 3 hits, they've made 1 error. Now the right-hander Odom into action again, delivers. There's a cut and a miss. He swung too early. Odom's used his change-up very effectively here. In the National League Championship Series today in Pittsburgh, Cincinnati beat the Pirates 5-3. Hauled in relief the order. Moose the start of the loser. There's a high fly ball lifted into short right center. Alou and Jackson are there. Jackson hauls it in, and there's 1 away. Now the last 11 Tiger batters have gone down in succession. Here's Tony Taylor, 0 for 2. Bounced out catcher to first, bounced out second to first. Right-hand batting ex-National Leaguer, Tony stepping in. 5-0. Oakland leads the Tigers in the second game of the series. They won the opener yesterday. Odom checks his time with his catcher tennis. Fastball is in for a strike. Well, the highlight of this game, the near fracas between the 2 teams. After Legrow hit Campaneris to the pitch, and Campaneris threw the bat at Lerrin Lagrow. There's a curve in too close, and the count is 1-1. Here's the windup, the 1-1 delivery on the way. It's a ball in too close on Tony the Tiger. 2-1 the count on him. Only one time had the Tigers had a man pass first base. That was on those two singles in the fourth inning. Odom ready for work again. Delivers, and the pitch is hit on the ground on the big hops to Bando at third. He rifles to Epstein in time, and there are two down. The last 12 Tigers have gone down in a row. Most of the outs have been made within the infield off Tiger bats. Here's Rodriguez, twice his counterpart at third base. Bando has tossed him out. 0 for 2 for Aurelio. Oakland got a run in the first inning. They added 4 in the fifth. They lead 5-0. The Tigers trying to battle their way back in the eighth inning. They've had only 3 hits off Blue Moon Odom. Here's a slow on the outside. Misses the far corner with a changeup. Selbach throwing in the Tiger bullpen. Pitcher due up next, John Hiller. 1-0, the count on Aurelio. Here's the pitch. He swings it. There's a high top of the Bando. It's the third time he's hit one down there. He's tossed out again by Bando. Nothing across for the Tigers. And we go to the last half of the eighth inning. The score, Oakland 5, Detroit nothing. Always talked about last time. The paid attendance this afternoon in Oakland, 31,088. A little larger crowd than they had yesterday. Reggie Jackson will lead off now against the new Tiger. Nope, the same Tiger pitcher, Johnny Hiller. They didn't get to that pinch-hitting situation. Reggie Jackson, Bando, and then Mike Epstein. Sun has broken through the overcast, and the bat boy taking some sunglasses to Northrop. The Tigers set a fielder. Jackson drove in 2 runs with a double in the fifth inning. Prior to that, he had struck out and bounced to first base. Reggie stepping in here in the eighth. It is 5-0, Oakland in the lead over the Tigers. Oakland 5 runs, 8 hits, no errors. Detroit, no runs, 3 hits, and 1 error. John Hiller got him out 1-2-3 when he came on in the seventh inning. Now kicks high and delivers a slow curve. It swung on and missed by Reggie. Lyman started. 4 of the runs scored off him. Zachary allowed 1 run. He pitched to 1 batter. Sherman went 2/3 of an inning, allowed no runs and 1 hit. Legrow 1 inning, allowed no runs and no hits. And Hiller 1 inning and allowed no runs and no hits. Here's the curve over. Strike 2 on Reggie Jackson. Campaneris, now ejected from the game, has 3 hits, 3 for 3. Rudy has 2 hits. There's a fastball at the shoulder, and the count is 1-2. Alou has 1 hit, Jackson 1 hit, and Hendrick, a bench batter, picked up 1. 1-2, that's the count on Reggie Jackson. Left-hander Hiller ready to go to work again. And fires a curve over. He struck him out. Jackson took 1 above the knees. He's called out. First strikeout for Hiller. Jackson walking back to the bench. And passing him on the way to the plate is Sal Bando. Bando has been up 3 times. He flied to right field the middle trip. The other 2 he struck out. This afternoon, Cincinnati beat Pittsburgh in the National League playoffs to even that series. It's 1 victory apiece. Cincinnati won the game in Pittsburgh 5-3. John Hiller, the native Canadian, delivers. It's a ball outside, a high, hard one. John, who battled back after that heart attack, out for a whole year, and what a comeback he's made. Slow curve gets across, 1-1. That's the count on Bando. Here's a fly ball hit into right field. K-Line there makes the catch, and Bando's out. We have word on the intercom from the press box now that Nestor Shylock and Joe Cronin, the American League president, have been requested by the writers and broadcasters to be in the interview room when the game's over. Well, that'll be very interesting to get the reaction of those two officials. Here's Epstein. He's walked, taken a call, third strike, and fly to center. 0 for 2 for Mike. Facing the left-hander Hiller. 5-0 Oakland in the lead over the Tigers in the 8th inning. Here's a pitch in close, ball 1. Would be even more interesting if they had Billy Martin in there with them in the interview room. Here's a pitch in close, 2-0. Generally, the interview room is confined to the heroes of the winning team. Now the 2-0 delivery, and Epstein takes the strike call. Have a large room set aside down in the bowels of the stadium here, where the public relations director of the winning team will get the players out and field questions from the press and radio. There's a pop-up near the plate. Sims throwing off the mask and makes the catch in foul territory. The side retires. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left. We go to the 9th inning in Oakland, and the A's 5, the Tigers 0. This is Ernie Harwell in the Coliseum in Oakland, and the Oakland A's lead in game number 2 of the American League Championship Series. 5-0 with the Tigers coming to bat of the 9th inning. Mike Hegan goes to first base now, replacing Epstein. And the Tigers will start off with a pinch batter, Gates Brown, who popped up in the foul territory. His only appearance yesterday, that was as a pinch batter. Oh, Gates will try to get something started. The last 13 Tigers have gone down in succession before the slant to Blue Moon Odom. They've not had a runner since Cash singled with 2 out in the 4th inning. That single by Cash sent K-Line to third. Now, the only man who's been past first base for the Tigers against Odom all afternoon. He struck out 2, not walked anybody, and allowed 3 singles. It's a strike call on Gates. He took a fastball rather high. Odom 3 outs away from a shutout victory. Now the right-hander kicks and delivers. Here's a fastball off the mitt of the catcher, Tennis. And the count of the pitch, batter Gates Brown 1-1. He'll be followed by McAuliffe, the leadoff man, and then K-Line. The Tigers need some big doings here in the 9th inning. A changeup swung on, hit on a line drive to the second baseman, Kubiak, for the out. 1 up and 1 away. Hit the ball right to the glove of Kubiak. Hit it hard. That's the 14th in a row. Set down by Odom. Here's McAuliffe, who's 0 for 3. He bounced to second, fly to right, grounded out to first base. He pulled the ball against Odom all 3 times. The outfield around to right on deck. Playing shortstop, replacing the injured Eddie Brinkman. And he takes the fastball high. The Tigers have certainly missed Brinkman. A real spark plug and a real leader on this team. 5-0, Oakland in the lead in the 9th. Swinging a bounding ball to Hegan. He gloves it, makes the play unassisted, 2 away. 2 down in the 9th, and now K-Line. This is the barrier now between Odom and a shutout victory. Has retired 15 straight Tiger batters. He's allowed only 3 singles. Northrop, Cash, and K-Line have them. Here's K-Line up again, 1 for 3. Right-hander Odom kicks into the biz, and Al takes the ball low. Oakland leading 5-0 over Detroit, 9th inning. Bases empty, 2 men out. K-Line standing deep, waiting on the 1-0 pitch. He takes the breaking ball across. 1-1 the count on him. Here's the windup. Here's the pitch. He swings and there's a foul. Beaten on the ground over toward the athletic dugout. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Well, the young man from Macon, Georgia, who was out of the playoff last year after surgery on his arm, has certainly been brilliant here this afternoon. He's blanked the Tigers of 3 singles. He shut down the last 15 in a row. He now has a 1-2 count on K-line. Winds, delivers, sidearm fastball outside. He thought he might have had that final strike. He started from the mound towards the dugout. The game is still alive. It's 2-2, the count on K-line. Here's the motion. He delivers. K-line takes the ball high. 3-2 on the Tiger veteran. Peering in to get his sign. K-line resets himself in the batter's box. 2 out of the 9th inning. Here's the pitch. He swings, fly ball to right field. That should end it. Alou is there. Makes the catch. The game's over, and Odom makes it 2 in a row. 16 straight retired by Odom. A 3-hit shutout for them. And in the 9th inning,
to commemorate the many years of modern Olympic competition, your participating marathon dealer is offering 10 different historic Olympic posters. They're in full original color, and each was the official poster of the Olympic game it represents. There's a poster from the Olympic Games of 1928 in Amsterdam, 1932 in Los Angeles, Berlin in 1936, 1948 in London, Helsinki in 1952, 1956 in Melbourne, 1960 in Rome, Tokyo in 1964, 1968 in Mexico City, and the 1972 Munich Olympic Games. You get one of these historic posters free each time you buy 8 or more gallons of Marathon gasoline. Collect your favorites, or better yet, collect all 10. Then you'll have a complete collection which embodies the tradition and spirit of Olympic competition. That's one free poster every time you buy 8 or more gallons from your participating marathon dealer.
Tigers right now find themselves with their backs to the wall as they move to Tiger Stadium for game number 3 on Tuesday afternoon against the Oakland Athletics, as the A's and a fellow by the name of Blue Moon Odom came up with a shutout performance today to stop the Tigers this time by a score of 5-0. Oakland getting the first run off the starter Woody Fryman in the first inning on a single by Campaneris. He stole second, stole third. And with 1 out, Rudy delivered a single that brought home Campaneris with the first run of the game. It remained 1-0 until the A's 5th inning, when Henrik, in a pinch-hitting role, batted for Green, led off with a single. Odom laid down the sacrifice bunt, and Henrik moved to second. Campaneris followed with a single. Alou followed with a single. 1 run was in at that point. That made it 2-0. A wild pitch allowing Campaneris to score and Alou to move to third. Another wild pitch allowing Alou to move to third base. And then a walk to Rudy finally on that second wild pitch. 2 runs were in at that point. And then Reggie Jackson, who had bit the dust a couple of times because of tight pitches close to the head, ran the count to 3-2, and then rifled one into the power alley in left center field with a double that scored 2 more runs. And Reggie wound up at third base on a throwing error by McAuliffe on the relay, getting past Rodriguez. And Jackson ended up at third base, but could not score with only 1 out. However, the A's had done their damage as they scored 4 times in the inning on 4 hits, a walk, 2 wild pitches. The Tigers did not have a threat except the 4th inning, and it was very mild at that point. With 1 out, K-line had singled. With 2 gone, Cass singled to put runners at first and third. And then Horton ended the inning by flying to right field. And that was the last threat the Tigers had, if you want to call it a threat, as Odom, bearing down, set down the last 16 Tigers in order. So the line score on today's game: Oakland 5 runs, 8 hits, no errors, 4 men left on base. And for the Tigers, no runs, 3 hits, the Tigers committing 1 error, and the Tigers leaving 2 on base. We'll talk about the pitching performances right after this message.
And now,
in the pitching department today, you'd have to say it was Blue Moon Odom all the way. Odom turning in the shutout, the complete performance, giving up only 3 singles and not allowing a hit after the single by Norm Cash in the 4th inning. The other hit, K-Line with a single in the 4th, and an infield hit by Northrup in the 2nd. Odom did not walk a Tiger, and he struck out 2, and he set down the last 16 in order. So Odom gets credit for the win. He had 2 shutouts, by the way, during the regular season over Cleveland and Minnesota, and combined for 2 other shutouts with relief help. The Tigers used Fryman, Zachary, Sherman, Legrow, and Hiller. Fryman working the first 4 and 1/3 innings, charged with the first 4 runs. The other run was charged to Zachary. He worked only 1 batter, and that was Rudy in the 5th when he walked him. And it was Sherman 2/3 of an inning, Legrow an inning, and Hiller working 2 innings. Fryman taking the loss, while Odom got the win. Some more facts, a little chat about today's ball game right after this message.